Take 87. Okay. All right, so anytime you want to do a good job, you need to have the right tools. So, do you play golf?
Yes.
Yeah, you go golfing, so obviously you don't use one putter. I guess that's what you would call it for everything, right?
No.
Yeah,
never.
so you have to have a set of tools. Also, if you're working on a car, you just use a hammer?
No.
To fix it? No, probably not. I don't think you would use a hammer unless you're just frustrated and you just
It's a
beat your
house
car
sort of
up.
thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, obviously what I'm getting at is that you need a set. Same way with your kitchen. A quality set of tools is going to save you time, money, and energy if they work the right way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is normally I would show a homemaker set, but I don't want you to think that I'm trying to upsell you. I just want you to pick the set that appeals most to you, and then that's the set I want to talk about. I don't want to waste any of your time. So let's just look at the 3 sets, then I'll let you guys pick, and let's talk about what you guys want to hear about. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this one is the Homemaker Plus 8. Basically, what people like about this is people who don't do a lot of cooking, so like my mom, never cooks. She just never cooks at all. She's not that great at it. Don't tell her I said that. Okay? But my mom loves this one because she has what she needs when she needs it. Also, it's kind of a set, for me, I'm in college and I have this set and I have what I need when I need it. So it's just people who basically don't do a lot of cooking and just they have what they need when they need it. So, okay, so then the next set is your ultimate set. So this is people who like literally do a ton of cooking. Obviously, yeah, it's a lot of knives.
Tons of knives.
Yeah, but when you have people over to parties and you do you do a lot of entertaining? Yeah, cool. What I like about this set is when people come over, there's enough knives that you can put like extra people to work and help you with the food because you have enough to like have them help you out. So I think this one's really great for people who like to entertain, but also people who just want to have the best of everything. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. You will, once you buy Cutco, you're addicted. I call it a Cutco addict, and you will add on. So some people just like to buy it all at once because it saves them money to buy in bulk. Okay? So then the next set I'm going to show you is our signature set. So this is actually our most popular set. This is the one I sell the most of. Sometimes they call me Signature Stacia. It literally is quite embarrassing, but it's kind of cool at the same time. But I found that my customers really like this because a lot of people from where I'm from, we don't have a lot of restaurants around there, so they just do your everyday cooking. Like you guys have 20 kids, so you guys obviously are going to be doing a lot of cooking.
Tons of cooking.
Tons of cooking. Okay, so the reason they like this, we just wanted to ask our customers, it's definitely the newest of the sets, came out 2 years ago. We just asked our customers, what pieces are we missing in that small little homemaker that, you know, you use a little bit more, but you don't have to buy that ultimate and buy all the knives. And these are the 3 that they picked, so these are the 3, like, customer favorites. So we put them in a set, and we found that we started selling this a lot more because people who just do your simple, everyday cooking, really, this one appeals to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, which one do you want to hear about so I'm not wasting any of your time?
I think we'd like to hear about the signature.
The signature? That's everybody's choice. Like I said, they like that one. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to go through all the pieces with you because I just want to make sure that if I sell you the set that you know how to use each piece.
Okay.
So the first one is your paring knife.
Ah.
There you go. Obviously, what you notice about the paring knife is it does have a longer handle. Mrs. Jones, what I like about it having the longer handle is most men complain about the handle digging into their palm. Now they have no excuse, and you can make them peel in whenever you want to. Okay? Sorry about that. So that's what people really like about the paring knife. Obviously, the paring knife, I'm going to assume you know what it's used for. You can peel apples, peeling anything, pitting peaches, things like that. That's what it's used for. Next piece in your set would be the trimmer. So the trimmer, I call this the Steve Hewlin knife. That's my dad. He eats a tomato every single day, and he loves this because you can just cut right through the tomato. Paper thin slices. In fact, one of my customers, we cut a slice so thin once that we laid it across this part right here in my book, and we could read through it.
Wow.
And we were laughing about it. We thought it was pretty cool. But it can be used trimming fats for meats. You can slice cucumbers. You can, like I said, tomatoes. Also, sometimes if you even take a grape to it, you can slice the grape really thin as well. It's just really, really impressive.
Wow.
Okay, next piece in your set. You say you could use both these pieces, right?
Yeah.
Easy. Okay. So the next piece in your set is the spatula spreader. I call this kind of the woman knife. Like the women really like. It's like your baking machine. Do you do a lot of baking? Yeah. Kids like cookies and brownies.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like it's the baking tool. Some people call it the sandwich machine because you know how you dip in your butter knife. You're putting mayo and you have to dip it in like 3 times to get the amount that you want. You just dip this one in once, then you spread it on. And if the kids ever want like their crust cut off or their sandwich cut into like squares, then you can do that because it actually has our double D edge right there, so you can just cut it. So icing cakes, cut cakes, serve cakes. It's really awesome because it's really flexible, so it gets right down into the pan, and it's big enough to scoop up the pieces. Okay, so obviously you see how you could use that piece if you bake a lot. Simple. You see why I call it the woman knife?
Oh,
Yeah, it'd be easy. So that's actually my stepmom's one of her favorites because she does like lasagnas and casseroles and she's cuts it and serves it. So next piece in your set is actually the petite carver. You guys are going to love this knife because I know most of your kids are young, so you have to carve a lot of pumpkins at Halloween.
Tons of pumpkins.
Yeah, and they're frustrating, right?
For days.
Yeah. Okay, so this one actually, it will cut through pumpkins so much easier. I wouldn't allow them to use it. I would still, you guys should cut them, but it'd be such an easier job for you. You can also still do small roast, small turkey, but you can also do larger fruits, larger vegetables. So like your pumpkins, your cantaloupes, squash, things like that, and it will just go right through. So obviously these two are very different from each other because one's going to be a little bit longer. You get some more stuff done with it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Pumpkin knife. You guys can nickname them if you want. It's totally fine. Okay, next piece in your set is the turning fork. Now, I know most people are like, I have drawers full of forks. Why would I need a turning fork in my set? This one's actually pretty cool because it has 3 extremely sharp tines. Like, here, go ahead and feel it. Don't push too hard. It's the only one I've cut myself on. I know, right?
Wow.
I'm very talented. So if you ever have trouble turning anything in the frying pan, I know a lot of men just, like, use their hands. Do you do that?
Sometimes.
Very unsanitary. Stop doing it. All right. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn food in the frying pan, but also the cool thing about it is, have you ever tried to get into like your jars of cherries, or, like your pickles and olives, and it's like that really, it's hard to get in. So what you're going to do is this is actually really, really narrow, and then you just stick it down in the jar.
That's what the little kids are for.
Oh, is that what they're
Small
for?
hands,
Actually, you want to hear a really corny joke?
Sure.
We always use the joke that if you stick this in a cherry jar, then you don't get caught red-handed.
That is a very corny
It is a
joke.
corny joke,
Yeah.
but I thought maybe if I told you, we could laugh about it together.
I'm going to laugh.
Okay. All right. So next piece in your set, it's cool. It does things that you thought it couldn't do.
Yeah.
So next piece in your set is the butcher knife. Now I understand most people like, especially the wives I see a lot of times like, oh, that's such a big knife, but the men like it because it's kind of like a machete, right?
Yeah.
I always call it like a pirate sword. I wouldn't recommend using it for that. It's actually used for, it saves you money. Because if you actually buy your chicken whole, and then you, instead of pre-cut, that's going to save you a lot of money there. Okay? And then also, frozen hot dogs, frozen hamburgers gets right through. That's pretty simple. But also, what's really cool is, obviously I don't look that strong. I'm not a strong girl. But I took the butcher knife home to my apartment where my friends were, and I put a watermelon on my cutting board. I was like, guys, watch what I can do. And then I take it in the air, and then I whack it down on the watermelon, and it just splits in half. And I look like the coolest person ever. But that's kind of cool. Like, most knives can't do that. So it just kind of, it's like a whack and roll knife. So you kind of just whack and then rock and then roll. Sounds kind of cool. But that's what it's used for. And you want this set because this is going to protect a lot of your other knives. So the trimmer cannot do jobs that the butcher knife can do. So this is just going to kind of be the protector of your knives, like the bodyguard.
Oh.
It's the dad. Right? The dad of the set.
Okay.
Okay. Next piece in your set is the Petite Chef. So this is like your dicing knife. This is going to be pretty simple. I've had a lady, she took frozen nuts. She's like, this is only a good knife if it can dice these frozen nuts. And I was like, all right, let's do it, because I wanted to know. And so we just diced them right through, and then, of course, she bought it because it did the work that she wanted. So that's pretty cool. So they didn't move. You can do twice the work, though, because it's a little bit longer. Okay, so you actually take your carrots, put them here, put your celery here, and then just dice. It's really simple. You do a lot of stuff with it. It's just your basic dicing knife. You always need a dicing knife. Do you do a lot of dicing? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah? Cool. Okay, so you see how you can use both these bigger knives?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just important for those reasons. Okay? Then the next piece in your set, this is the slicer. I call this the magic knife, because this is like the one knife in training that I did not believe. I was like, have you ever tried to cut hot bread?
Yes.
Like, what kind of bread do you make?
Sourdough. I make the bread.
You make the bread.
Yes.
I shouldn't have assumed. I'm so sorry,
Yes.
Mr. Jones. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So you make the bread. So what happens when it's piping hot, you just take it out of the oven, then you try to cut it.
Crushes the crust.
Just deflates. Yeah. Okay, well, this is the knife. They told me in training that would not do that because it has the longest double D edge in the set. So I was like, I have to know. So my manager made me take it home, and I don't bake bread. I just went and bought some and put it in the oven. I'm not as talented as you. But so what I did is when I took it out, I cut, and then it started to, like, fall down. And I was like, no, they lied. And then it just popped right back up. And I was like, okay, so it's true. The reason for that is it's cutting all directions, so it just cuts right through. It's simple. Angel food cake. You can actually take a head of lettuce. If you guys eat a lot of salad, I love salad. Okay, cool. Take the head of lettuce, and then you just it doesn't matter. And then you just shred the lettuce, and then things for like that for coleslaw and things like that. So obviously, birthday cakes, even ice cream cake. A lot of people don't know that I work with, but we got an ice cream cake once, and it's just so long that you can actually just kind of cut it through the ice cream cake, and it works really, really well. So you see how you can use that one?
Yeah.
It's cool. I call it the magic knife for that reason, because This is very impressive knife. Okay, then these two I'm going to talk about at once because they're kind of like, they're like you two. They're like married. I like to say they're dating, but we'll call them Mr. and Mrs. Jones. The reason is they're kind of in a pair. These you will not use as much, but when you have something forever, they're going to get their use as far as value goes. Okay, so this is obviously your carving set. Do you guys remember the electric carver? Yeah. Do you have the electric? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And it rips and shreds your food, or it's hard to put together. It makes a really loud, annoying noise. Okay, this is just kind of bringing the tradition of carving back to the dinner table, so you can kind of, we call it no more small pieces, because you can cut literally as small as you want, as big as you want. For everybody, it's not going to waste a lot of your turkey, because when your turkey's shredding, that's wasting it.
Yeah.
And you're spending quite a bit of money on your turkey. So this is actually just going to allow you to be more in control. Everybody likes to be in control, let's admit it, and it puts you more in control. And then this one just kind of pairs along with it, but you can also use it just to serve. So if you guys probably eat around the dinner table a lot, actually, so you can actually just use it to serve your food, but also it goes along with this one as getting meat out of the pan. So yeah, they're like a little couple. Gotta have them together, okay? Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to talk about these in full detail because these are the ones that I said the customers really wanted. So I want you to understand why. Okay. Okay, so the Hardy Slicer is the man knife. Yeah, exactly. It's just really sturdy. Remember how I said that you could cut the watermelon in one with this one?
Yeah.
You can also still cut it into slices, but it doesn't cut nearly as easy as this one because I call this one kind of like a fusion knife. So basically what we're doing is we're taking a butcher knife and then we're putting the double D edge on it, but it's also the length of the dicing knife. So you can cut through large blocks of sausage, large blocks of cheese, fish bone. If you cut through fish bone, you can also use it for, like I said, any kind of melons to push it through. It's going to be 10 times easier than even the butcher knife would be. So there is a huge difference. But like I said, the men like it's a little bit shorter. You'd probably actually even like it better than that big butcher knife. It'd probably work a little bit better for you. But it's very sturdy. And I call it the man knife because not only do all the men like it, but also all the male managers, like when it came out, they loved it. So it's a pretty cool knife. Okay, and then the next one is the Petite Santoku. So obviously this is a dicing knife. I call it the Rachel Ray knife. Do you like Rachel Ray?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't? Everybody likes Rachel Ray. So this is the Rachel Ray knife, but there's a huge difference because this is a heavy dicing knife, so this is actually for delicate dicing. So do you ever saute onions, peppers, mushrooms? Mm-hmm. Yeah, things like that. So anything sauteed, you can actually pull through with it. So you can pull through with the tip, but also you can rock it back and forth, which I find is a lot easier. So I think you would like this one better. Like you could probably dice at this one, Rashid probably want to dice at this one. Or who knows, could be vice versa. Okay, but this is going to smash your food. If you would use this on sauteed anything, it's such a heavy dicing knife for like frozen nuts and celery and carrots, it would smash anything like that. So this is why this one's, they wanted it in here because they're a little mad because they do a little more of the sauteed anything. Okay, so Petite Santoku, so that's a really good one. And then we have the cheese knife, by far the most popular. I will work a fair and show. If you guys ever been to like the fair and show, heard of them? Okay, so we work at the indie fair and shows, and we have a happy customers list. And I'll be trying to sell someone Cutco who's never heard of it. And all these customers who already own it will just walk up, pick up the cheese knife, and go, "This is the best knife. If you get any knife here today, you have to get this cheese knife." And that's what they. And I don't have to sell him anything because he's doing it for me. But that had to be in there. This doesn't even come in the homemaker, so I think that's why people like put that cheese knife in there. Okay, so the cheese knife. What do you guys think it's used for?
Cheese, probably.
That is a great answer because that's right, but it's not everything that it's used for. So don't feel dumb because that's exactly it. It's used for cheese, but also you notice it looks kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's weird. These holes create air pockets, so anything sticky or starchy won't stick to it. So your lemons, your limes. I have a lady who actually makes homemade noodles. She loves to make homemade noodles, and she actually takes the tip of it and just cuts through them and doesn't stick to it. She uses it for her homemade noodles. I thought that was cool. That's actually something new I just learned the other day. And then potatoes. So actually, I brought a potato. So actually, remember this trimmer that I've been bragging about? I call it the Steve Hewlin knife. Take this one and just cut a little wedge out of there for me.
Okay.
Cool. Now take your steak knife and do the same thing. You're doing a great job. Awesome. And then take the cheese knife and do the same thing. So much easier, right?
Yeah.
It's so much easier. Okay, cool. Yeah, I took it home to my mom, and she is in love with the trimmer. And I was like, all I did was do the same thing, and she cut it, and she looked at it, and she goes, "I want one." It was that easy. So they really do love that one. But anything sticky or starchy, it has a micro D edge, simply meaning it just has more blades. So as far as sharpness, it's actually going to last a little bit longer. And then do you guys ever have those cheese balls, like, at your parties, the really good cheese balls? Mm-hmm. You go and you put the cracker on. Yeah, you can actually use the tip here to spread them on your crackers. So you have them at like your little parties that you guys host that you're talking about. Yeah, so you see, obviously the cheese knife, why it's a favorite. Yeah. It's just going to do a lot of stuff. Okay, and then your scissors, we were actually already cut the penny. You guys thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a customer named Brooks Cardinal. When his friends come over, he's like, watch what I can do with my scissors, and he cuts pennies for all of his friends. It's so funny. So the cool thing that people like about this is it already comes in the block, because I'm going to be honest, Mrs. Jones, he's going to try to run off with them, and you're going to know if they're missing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, sorry,
That's a
she'll
lot.
run off with them, and you'll know if they're missing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
want my
assuming that you
scissors
steal
taken.
everything.
Yeah.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. So, and then the last ones, I'm going to talk about these little guys. These are actually like your table knives, like your steak knives. So they're table knives, yet steak knives. Okay, so they're actually rounded like a butter knife at the tip. Then they have that double D-edge. So literally anything. Cut your tomatoes and your salads. You can cut steak. Actually, the first time I used this, I was like, oh, I have Cutco. I'm going to try it out. It was a brand new rep. We were eating pork chop, and I had a paper plate, and I cut through my pork chop, and then I look up, and it cut through the entire paper plate. So I had to get, obviously, a harder plate. But they're actually really, really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a leather test with you. So I brought some leather. Feel that?
Okay.
This is not a magic trick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
holding the leather, so feel it. Awesome, thanks, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you're going to take your steak knife, and you're going to actually just cut back and forth on the leather, okay?
With my steak knife.
With your
Okay.
steak knife. Yeah, see, it's
Yeah,
moving back and forth.
We
It's,
won't go through.
now try to just, do me a favor and just try to push straight down towards the cutting board. Yeah, that's not working.
No.
No. All right.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm giving you a hard time.
It's
You
okay.
put your knife down. Okay, and then take Cutco.
Okay.
Now, what I want you to do, I'm actually going to start a new piece of leather.
Oh, okay.
You want to feel it? Same thing?
Yeah.
All right,
Not
awesome.
fake leather.
Okay, just cut like a little slit in it for me, just a
Okay.
tiny little slit. Okay, now stop and just
Okay.
push straight down toward the cutting board.
Wow. Yeah.
Right
My
there.
table!
The cutting board. I have the cutting board there.
Yeah.
Aw,
Obviously, that was
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty simple. So it's gonna go through things like that pretty easily. I always feel like I'm doing a magic trick when I do these things. It's kind of fun. Okay, so also something else I wanted to mention that comes with this. It comes with all 3 cutting boards. The homemaker only comes with that one. Just this one and the ultimate come with all 3. Now I know you're wondering, like, I have cutting boards. What's so awesome about the cutting boards? And I'll just explain them really quickly. Like my cutting board that you see here on the table, it actually heals itself. So yes, it's gonna have cuts on it. You want your knife to be sharper than your cutting board, or else it's hurting your knife. Does that make sense? But they're gonna heal themselves when you put them in the dishwasher. Okay, now this outer ring here, if you cut anything like tomatoes, watermelon, obviously that juice normally gets everywhere, all over your nice countertops, and you have to clean it up. So what it does is it catches that so it doesn't get all over the place. So it's like a drip ledge, just going to catch everything. And then also what's kind of cool is they actually have these little legs here, as you can see, that sit up off the counter about an inch. What's cool about that is when you're dicing, I don't know, I'm not great at balancing, but like if I have to pick up the cutting board and like, I always miss something falls off. I don't know about you guys. But this actually, you can slide your plate right underneath it and then take your knives and just scoop it onto the plate. Now you don't have to like worry about being, balancing or getting your food everywhere. So I think the cutting boards are really cool. Also forever guarantee. So if anything would happen to them, you can actually get those replaced. Or if you just don't like the way they're looking anymore, you think there's too many cuts in them, send them back and you get a new one for free.
Wow.
Okay? So all 3, small, medium, and large. So like your large roast, large turkey, all the way down to you're just doing tomatoes and things like that. Okay? And then this sharpener, you are not allowed, no matter how much you want to, sharpen the double D edge. We have to do that for you. Don't worry, I'll be around, so you can call me. It's a free service, like I mentioned earlier. But this, you can actually do your straight edges with. You don't have to do them every day, just whenever you feel like they need it. And when I come over, I'll also do the straight edges for you. But it just comes with it, so you might as well just take it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so then the last thing is, let me show you the block here. This is the block. So it comes with 10 of these table knives that just lay across the front. And it comes in solid oak. Now, I've been to the factory, so I've seen how the knives are made. There's a building for knives, and there's a building for the blocks. They actually make these blocks from scratch. Solid oak, like I had mentioned before, and then they have rubber pegs on the bottom. So, like, this is actually a really funny story, but my mom keeps her Cutco on the top of the fridge, and I'm only like 5'2". I have heels on right now, so I look taller. So I'm trying to get our Cutco down off the fridge, and it doesn't move. Like, I'm trying to, like, slide it off, and the pegs are so good at, like, staying in place that I can't move it. So I have to get a step stool, which is really embarrassing for me, to get the Cutco down off the fridge. So that just shows, like, if you don't want them around your kids, that's a great place to set them, because they can't reach them or slide them off. So, just a tip. Anything scratches with the block, also forever guarantee. I'm probably not going to say that anymore because everything in the book's forever guarantee. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Okay.
But it does have a place for everything. Okay? So now, I'm just going to kind of wrap up. Okay? And we're just going to kind of review everything because I know I've talked a ton, gave you guys a lot of information. So we're just going to kind of wrap up and talk about talk about Cutco a little bit more. So Cutco is a good investment. So I'm saying it's an investment because obviously you're going to have it a long time. Like my customers had it for 45, my customers had it for 15 years, a long time. And here's the reason why. So benefits are you always have a sharp knife. Comes with 7 to 10 years. We talked about that. You always have the right tool for the task at hand. And I think I already covered that with you guys. Like the butcher knife has to be used on heavy stuff. The trimmer cannot do that. And you guys know that. I'm not trying to assume that you don't. And then it's made of the highest quality materials. So like those bowling ball handles, the high carbon surgical stainless steel. That way it's guaranteeing superior performance. So it's not going to break on you. Okay? And then it comes with a forever guarantee, meaning you just never have to replace the knife again. So how awesome would it be, Mrs. Jones, to have like one paring knife that you never had to replace like 8 times like you said earlier?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, my mom likes that. She thinks that's pretty cool. She's like, oh, great, a paring knife I love that I can keep. Okay, so obviously you guys don't wake up in the morning and go, hey, honey, let's go out and price fine cutlery today. No.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't
we
think
did.
so.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, wow, this has never happened before. Okay, so it's like anything else. There's just a wide variety of quality and prices available. So obviously, like tools for your home, Cutco's just tools for your kitchen. So, Mr. Jones, one more time. You wouldn't compare like your awesome snap-on tools to like a cheap set at a bargain store, right? You
No.
couldn't. There's no way. But just like you guys probably realize, you can't go compare Cutco to like a Walmart set.
Exactly.
Okay, so it can't be compared to a cheap set. So actually, I wanted to bring a price comparison so we could compare some things.
Okay.
And this is a price comparison called Woostuff. Okay, this is actually a set that's similar to Cutco. So it's found in most department stores and specialty shops. Have you ever heard of Woostuff before?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, that's fine. It's a very high quality set of cutlery. It's made in Germany, so obviously not made in America. Now, it all has almost everything that you look for in a set of cutlery. So that full tang that we talked about earlier that goes all the way through for better balance. These are high quality wooden handles. Obviously, we don't like wood, but they are very, very high quality wood. And these things are really sharp. Like, I've seen them before, and they are really, really sharp. So that you always want a sharp knife, obviously. And then these are the top selling brand in stores. So obviously, that makes them really good. I don't want to confuse you because we are the #1 knife selling brand. We just don't sell in stores. So they're just top selling brand in stores where we are just top selling, in the United States. So I just wanted to clear that up. So as you can see, the price for Woostuff here is $3,325. Okay, but you guys probably like to find the sales, right? Yeah, okay. Then actually on sale they're about $2,000. $1,999. You guys get it, okay? So, however, there are some differences between Woostuff and Cutco. So, Woostuff does not have the universal wedge lock handle. So, if you remember, it reduces pressure off your hands for the arthritis, carpal tunnel. Okay, they're straight edges. I don't know if you know this, but they have to constantly be resharpened. So, every time before you would cook, are you yawning at me?
No, she was.
So, every time before you
Ouch.
cook, you have to sharpen them. So, that'd be nobody does that.
No.
Yeah, no one does that because that's frustrating. Whereas Cutco stays sharp 7 to 10 years. They're not dishwasher safe, okay? But Cutco obviously is dishwasher safe. And then these actually have a lifetime guarantee, but the catch is they only cover defects. Yeah, so technically not really where Cutco covers everything forever, whether it's just a chip in the knife that melts, something happens to it, you can get it replaced for free. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do now, I do want to let you know most people own Cutco. They say it's the best thing they've ever had. I have some women who just get the white handle because they don't want to dig around in their drawer for it. Like, they just know right where it is because, like, oh, white handle, Cutco. So they'll specifically do that for a reason. So what I'm going to do is have you guys guess the price. Because obviously when something offers twice the quality and twice the value, should be equal to or twice the price of something that's similar to it. So I'm actually going to show you one more time what you would be getting. And I know nobody likes to guess, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I can see on your face that you probably don't want to guess. It doesn't matter if you're wrong, because I'm still going to tell you the right price. I just want you to guess to make sure that we did a good job at building the value of Cutco, okay?
Okay.
So, I'll show you one more time. And there are 3 things I want you to keep in mind while you're guessing, because obviously I don't want you to guess completely wrong, so I'm going to help you kind of stay in the range of where you should guess. Okay, so when I was new, this set here is obviously not as big as this one, right? Obviously. But when I was new, this is the first set they taught me how to sell, so I didn't know how to sell this one yet. So this is why this is the only comparison I have. So I am sorry about that. So this has the same amount as this.
Okay.
And Cutco is expensive. You have to keep that in mind. It's an investment. You guys probably already understand that. You guys know quality. I get that. Okay, so basically you're getting about 8 to 10 extra pieces in this. Okay? So one more time. Cutco's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to have more knives than this one. Okay? So you are getting your paring knife, your trimmer, your spatula spreader, your petite carver, your turning fork, your butcher knife, Your petite chef, your slicer, your carver, your carving fork, hearty slicer, petite santoku, traditional cheese knives, super shears, 10 of those table knives, all in the solid oak wood block. It comes with all of 3 of your cutting boards, and like I said before, already a place for your super shears, and then a bunch of other free stuff that I haven't even mentioned yet.
Mm.
And now I'm going to breathe. So a lot of stuff in this set, and then like I said, we'll talk about that stuff I haven't mentioned yet here in a little bit. So, knowing Cutco's expensive, knowing that Woo stuff one more time is typically $3,325, and we're at least twice the quality, twice the value. I'll give you a hint. Some of my customers guess $700, and honestly, it's more than $700. Okay, and then some of my customers guess all the way up to $5. I realize that's a wide range, but at least you know you're not going any less than $700. Oh. All right, so what do you guys think it is? You guys can look at it one more time if you want. You want me to play some theme music?
3,500.
I think 4,000.
4,000-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Final answer? Yeah. Is that your final answer?
4,000-ish, yes.
Okay.
Final answer.
Ish. Okay, got it. All right, so what I do want to let you know is this actually doesn't cost $4,000. Whew, that's nice, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you want it. All right, and this one actually doesn't cost even as much as Woo stuff, which is a $3,325. But it also doesn't cost as much as their sale price, which is the $2,000. This set actually only costs $1,599. And then what I would explain one more time is that extra free stuff that I was telling you about earlier. So $1,599. So what we're going to play now, it's my favorite game, is, hey, if I were to get this set today, what would I get for free game? Mm. All right? So what we're going to do is just going to look through the book and talk about a few other things that you might want to add on for free. So I'll show you some of my favorites that my customers like that we talk about a lot. This is the Entertainer Pack. Now, what they normally do is if you want an extra cheese knife, it does come with an extra cheese knife. But what they normally do is they normally just get the ice cream scoop, the vegetable peeler, and the pizza cutter. And I'd be willing to do that for you today if you wanted all 3. And then we could get you one extra knife that's not in that set if you wanted 2, since I'm taking out the cheese knife. Or if you want 2, you can have 2. Some people like to have 2 cheese knives. Okay, so blah, 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 ice cream scoop, blah, 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 vegetable peeler is pretty awesome. Blah, 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 pizza cutter. Is that okay? Because they know how to do it.
Sure.
Awesome. Gift sets. If you have any weddings coming up, I would be able to get you a gift set for free if you wanted to do something like that. Because Cutco's a wedding gift would be a pretty nice wedding gift. You're like, why didn't I get a Cutco for my wedding? Right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so these kitchen tools, these are a popular thing. I recommend not getting the holder because most people actually like to stick other tools with them because you're going to keep some of your other kitchen tools. And they just don't want that extra stuff on their counter. So they do just put these in the drawer. It won't hurt them. Okay, so these actually have what we call a chef's curve. You can actually hang, like your basting spoon, for example. I can hang it on my pinky and it just sits there. So you guys ever make macaroni and cheese? Yeah, okay. And then you're stirring it, and you have macaroni and cheese all over the spoon. And then what do you have to do with that spoon when you take it out? You have to put it on the stove, and then you got to clean the stove. Yeah, it's frustrating. So what you're gonna do actually is it just hangs on the side of the pan because that's the same material, that thermo resin. So it can just hang there on the side of the pan, so it's not to get all over that and make you do some extra work of cleaning it up. Okay, so obviously it comes with the mixer. That's actually. It just sounds like a rapper's name to me, the mixer. I don't know, I think it's funny. So this is actually pretty cool because what you can do is it actually, when you're cleaning it, you can bend this and it will actually go down the side so you can clean it easier. So I think that's pretty cool. It's just different looking. It doesn't look like a normal, it's like a whisk. It just doesn't look like a normal whisk. And obviously you have this for turning hamburgers, things like that. Soups, that's your ladle for your soups. Basting spoon, you know what a basting spoon is used for. Potato masher, I don't know about you, but finding a good potato masher is really hard because they always bend in like this, like in the middle. This one does not do that. And if it did, what would you do?
Replace it.
Yeah, send it back in and get a new one. Awesome. Thanks for paying attention, Mr. Jones.
I'm on it.
Okay, and then you have your slotted spoon. So anything like corn, anything like you need to get the water out, you just scoop it in. It's obvious. I think you guys know what it's used for, but I have to explain. Okay, do you do any hunting or anything?
Lots of hunting.
You like to hunt?
Tons,
okay,
yeah.
I'm going to show you the most. Actually, I'll show you one of the most favorite hunting knives, and it's actually not as expensive as it's actually one of our cheaper hunting knives. So that's pretty cool. So this one, Brooks Cardinal, one of my favorite customers, loves it. Absolutely loves this. And I don't know all the lingo of you hunters, but something about cutting through a breastbone.
What do you call that?
You're the hunter. Does that make sense?
No, I said we do a lot of hunting.
Oh, you do a lot of we do a lot of hunting.
Well,
I'm
there.
Mushroom hunting doesn't count, Mr. Jones.
Then no.
It doesn't count.
What are our other free options?
Okay.
Good question.
All right, and then also with the 4th of July being here for you guys, it's summer. You're doing a lot of grilling.
Yeah.
Also, we have the grill set. So I think the grill set's nice. They always use this is another corny joke, but I think it's actually kind of funny. They say that it's so long that you can steal it from your your neighbor's hamburgers. We try. We try to come up with good jokes. Okay. All right. So if you were to pick something for free today, what are you guys thinking that you would get?
I kind of like the kitchen accessories.
I like the enchanted
Oh, snap.
I
kinda
start
like
a
the
lot of
entertainer
arguments
also.
like this.
I changed my mind. I like the entertainer also.
What's your favorite piece out of this, though? What really?
The entertainer one.
You like the entertainer pack?
Yeah.
But what was your favorite
of these,
piece out of the 6?
the spatula.
You like
Yeah.
this one?
Yep.
I'll throw that in for free too, then, just to make you happy, so you get something you want.
Awesome.
Does that sound good? Okay. I can do that for you.
That's awesome.
All right. So, last thing I'm going to tell you is, obviously, I do not expect you, you'd have to trust me a lot to spend $15.99 all at once, and I honestly don't want you to do that today. I'm not from a very big town, so payment plans are our friends from where I'm from. That's why I sell a lot of what I sell. So obviously the guarantee is nice, but the payment plan helps.
Yeah.
I just want you to be able to budget, because you guys have vacations you want to go on. It's summer. You have lots of kids. You want to take them out to, Kings Island, Cedar Point, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you just budget your money. You do it in a 5-pay. Now, we build no interest, so don't worry. It's not going to keep adding on. It's the same payment every month, and it comes out the same time every month. That way, you can get it. You can try it out and make sure you like it before you put the rest of your money down. You get it right away, so I feel like that's what tons of customers do, because they do want to try it out and just put down a little bit and make sure that they really, really like it. But I can promise you, if you cook a lot, you'll really like this set. Okay? So that's something that you like to get today, and get that entertainer pack, and then I'll get you your slotted turners, what we call it, for free?
Yeah. Yeah.
No? Awesome. Okay, great. Let me get this out. Let me write up your order form. Blah, blah, blah for free, blah, blah, blah for free. One more question. I completely forgot to show you. I'm really sorry. That is my fault. This is actually the different style of the signature. It's called a Santoku style. I would have felt bad not showing you, and then you saw that we had it later and been mad at me for not showing it to you. So, Santoku style, customers really like. You're already doing a 5-pay, so let me explain why they like this. Okay, so like your paring knife, see the difference? It's rounded at the top. Some people feel like it's safer. Like a lot of my women, they're afraid of the tip breaking off, things like that. They don't like that point. So what it does is it actually rounds it out so it doesn't have that point at the top, but it still has a starting point. It is a little bit thicker steel, okay, and then it does it with the trimmer, and then it does it with your dicing knife, does it with your slicer, and then it does it with your carver, and then also your slicer. It's both. They were just out of order on that page. So it does it with all of those, so it takes those points off, because that's always a dangerous point that everyone's kind of worried about. Obviously, both sets are appealing. I just find most of them like it because it's safer, and it's an Asian-inspired knife. It's really popular. Now, I know you're probably worried, how much more is this? What is she trying to do? But actually, it's only $5 extra in your 5-pay, so I think that's why people go ahead and do it. I don't think they do it if it was, $20 extra. It's only $5 extra if you really, really like it. Okay? So would you rather do that style, or would you rather do this style?
I don't love it. What do you think?
I like the original.
Like the original style with the points? Okay, no big deal. Okay, and then also, let's go rewind, because typically, no offense, guys, they will pick the Santoku style. They will.
I didn't
No,
think
no,
they
you're
would.
fine.
That's
She
why-
sells most of the same.
Santoku's 90% of the time is but no, I've had Libby. Libby was fine, but I just want to go back for the video and say that. Okay, so which one would you like?
The Santoku style.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, like I said, that's what all the customers really, really like. Okay, so then I would just write it up on the order form, and then what I did is I just upped myself 20 to 30 extra CPO points, because I already gave them their free stuff. And that's all. And that's my clothes. And I'll probably hug them before I leave. We'll laugh, have some fun. I'll meet the kids. Last time I played Hungry Hippos with a kid.
What about recommendations?
Oh, do you want me to do that too?
Sure.
We have time.
Killing me, man.
You have to look at it.
We'll make another video. Just pause
I don't
it.
want to do it the wrong